Hello everyone. Here in this slide, you can see the pin diagram of 8051. So these pins are the external pins through which we are connecting any circuit. But what are the components present inside this 8051 IC? So our today's video is related to that only. So what are the different blocks and components present in the 8051 microcontroller architecture? So here you can see the architecture of 8051 microcontroller. This is the 8051 microcontroller architecture. So here you can see number of blocks. So these arrow, these are the buses, and these buses are controlled by this bus control. Next, there is 4 IO port. In pin diagram, we have seen there are 4 port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3, and all port have 8 lines. And these are connected having address, and these are the address and data bus, multiplex address and data bus. Now there is one block that is representing serial port, and through this is responsible for the serial communication. And for the serial communication, there are two signals, TXT and RXT, transmit and receive. This is for the serial communication purpose. Now here you can see two blocks of memory. One is ROM, another one is RAM. So in 8051 microcontroller, there are 4 kilobyte of ROM storage, read-only memory storage, and 128 bytes of RAM storage. So this is inbuilt memory in 8051 microcontroller. And as I have started with the introduction and feature of 8051 microcontroller, and the first line that I have introduced, that is, this is an 8-bit microcontroller having 40 pins. And next, there is inbuilt memory in 8051 microcontroller, ROM and RAM. On-chip ROM and on-chip RAM. And ROM is used for the program code. Now, here you can see timer. So 8051 microcontroller have two timers, timer 0 and timer 1. And both timer are of 16-bit. Means it can carry data of 16-bit, that is D0 to D15. And here you can see two inputs, counter inputs, that is T1 and T0. And in subsequent video, we will see the details of these timer 0 and timer 1 register. Here simply you must know that what detail you must know, that is there are two timers in 8051 microcontroller, timer 0 and timer 1. Both are of 16-bit and both are having counter input, that is T1 and T0. These pins you have already seen in 8051 pin diagram. And along with this, what is the significance of this 16-bit timer? It is used for the event or event generator, or as a time delay generator. For counting purpose, you can use these timer. And these timer can be used as a 16-bit as a whole or as an 8-bit timer also. So we will discuss all these things in next video. Now next, there are 4 8-bit port which are programmable. And besides all these, here you can see OSC. What is this OSC? This is oscillator, on-chip oscillator. OSC is a short form of oscillator. So 8051 have on-chip crystal oscillator having crystal frequency of 12 megahertz. So this is oscillator circuit, this is CPU, and here you can see one more block, that is interrupt control, and this interrupt control block have two pins, INT 0 and INT 1. These two are the interrupt pin, and in pin diagram you have seen these two INT 0 and INT 1 pin, and these are the external interrupt. You can see the arrow is pointing towards the interrupt controller. It means interrupt is generated externally and arriving at this microcontroller. Here from arrow you can see the flow of data. From oscillator signal is going towards CPU. These internal buses are bidirectional. Here, in case of port, these lines are also bidirectional. So these are the basic blocks or basic entity that constitute 8051 microcontroller architecture. And in next video, we will see the details of all these ports. Beside this 805, these all components are present in the 8051 microcontroller. Along with all these components, there are different registers which are also present in 8051 microcontroller. And these registers are very important part of this 8051 microcontroller and used to store the data. And there are several general purpose registers and special purpose registers, special function registers are also there. So we will discuss all those things one by one. Now next, what is data and address bus? So before going into detail of data and address bus, first you should know what is the bus. So what is bus? Bus is group of wires from which data is transferred. So basically these buses are carrying information. So what is written over here? A bus is a group of wires using which data transfer takes place from one location to another within the system. So this is the basic definition of bus. There are two kinds of buses, data bus and address bus. We will discuss control bus also in separate video. Here we are discussing only two, data bus and address bus. What is the purpose of data bus? It transfer data. And what is the function of address bus? It will carry information, not data. What type of information it will carry? It will carry the address where the data is stored, but not the data. So this is brief about address and data bus. Next, these are the few more entity of 8051 microcontroller, and we will discuss all these in next lecture. ALU, program counter and registers. These are the very important part. We will discuss all these in next lecture. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.